Maps tip time. Got a sweet one for you. So if you're using GOHUNT Maps, whether web, mobile, this one's gonna be more mobile based, but the same thing applies on web. One of the really cool features that I love to use a lot is elevation bands. Elevation bands are very useful to narrow down kind of where you're gonna hunt. So let's say you maybe have a late season hunt, you know deer or elk are gonna be at a certain elevation bands during a certain time of year because they're kind of starting to migrate out of the mountains. You want to kind of hone in those areas. So you take a giant unit, you put these certain elevation bands on there, good parameters to look at to then narrow down where you're going to hunt. Or maybe you have an early season hunt and you know you really want to hunt high alpine mule deer. Turn on all the high elevation layers. It's going to highlight those areas in that unit that have the potential for that alpine zone, and then you can start zooming in on it and then double check it yourself. But I'm going to walk you through how to actually do that right now on GOHUNT Maps. So you can basically just go on, open up GOHUNT Maps, tap on the library, select the state you want to go to. You're going to scroll down to terrain. Once you're in terrain, now it's going to show you all these different elevation bands. We have them split up by different bands of elevation, uses 1,000 to 1,500 feet of elevation per band. So this is great for just, again, seasonality. So right now I'm going to show you what I do when I turn on 11,500 foot plus and start highlighting that area on the map. And again, I can adjust the transparency. If I only want that one on there, because I know I want a high elevation hunt, I could just crank it all the way up. And then when I zoom out in that state, what's great about that is then you're going to visually see all the high elevation spots. Maybe you have a state where you can move around and it's not just locked into one unit. This is a great way to visually see that terrain, that adventure that you're trying to go on. But again, if I zoom back in here, I want to turn on some more of these elevation bands. And now you can see how I'm starting to color stack. Now I can see 11,500 feet and above, and I have 10,000 to 11,500 highlighted. Now as I keep going down, just tap on the eyes and start highlighting those different ranges. So now it's going to visually just allow me to see where those elevations are. And then I can, like I said, adjust the transparency. I can kind of see through that terrain. I can start dropping some of those waypoints in some of the areas I might be seeing animals start migrating out. Maybe I know this is a core zone where deer or elk are going to be during certain times of the year. It allows me just to narrow down a big unit into a lot smaller chunks. And again, if I just wanted to just look at one, because I want this migration layer between 8,000 and 10,000, that allows me to visually see it on every single state. So super cool feature. You have it on both the web and mobile. And even when you're offline, you have this feature when you download all of our state layers. So really cool feature on GOHUNT Maps. And I highly recommend using it. Or even when you get back from a hunt, analyzing where you dropped all those waypoints, where you're seeing animals, because that'll then highlight for you later on in future hunts what elevation bands you're seeing animals during certain times of year. So very powerful there.